Tonight's a big night at the Butler County Fair in Allison, and with me on the line visiting this next hour with me is Rachel from Gloriana. And Rachel, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. It's great to have you with us on the show. And, of course, Gloriana, we've enjoyed the music the last few years. One thing that is really kind of neat, you were the best-selling debut country act in 2009, debuted at number 2 on the Billboard Country Albums chart, number 3 on the Top 200 chart, and all with a hit single called Wild at Heart.
Yay! Thank you. That was quite the introduction.
Well, I tell you what, that is really something. And why don't we first, before we play the song and talk about it, why don't you kind of go through the group and who's all in the group of Gloriana?
Yeah, so we've got Tom and Mike Gossen, who are brothers, and then myself and Cheyenne, and we're going on our 4th year together as a band. And basically we all just met up in Nashville and have been playing music since we were little kids. And, it's just been a crazy journey for us over the last 4 years, so that's about it.
And Rachel, how did the name Gloriana came about?
Basically, we were just kind of messing around with a bunch of different names, and we wanted, a one-word name that was easy to remember and just kind of represented, us and our 4-part harmony that we do. And one day in the studio, Mike just came up with Gloriana and thought it sounded really cool, and that was pretty much about it.
Well, Rachel, a few minutes ago we mentioned the song Wild at Heart. Why don't you talk about how that became your first single?
Yeah, well, we were in the studio, we were recording our record, and we were just about finished, and actually Wild at Heart was, I think, the last song that we recorded. And it was a song that was written by Josh Keir, who's written a ton of really great country music hits, and Stephanie Bentley and our producer Matt. And we heard the demo, and it was, it was just Josh on his acoustic guitar. And we loved the song, and we were sitting around in the studio just kind of going through the song and doing pre-production on it. We started out doing this, this stomp clap kind of thing, and then we put all of our harmonies on it, and it just kind of came to life. And we just kind of knew once we recorded it, we were like, okay, this is definitely going to be the first single. So that was it. All
right, here's Wild at Heart on KLMJ. This morning we have Rachel at Gloriana. Of course, they will be at the Butler County Fair in Allison tonight. And Rachel, I know we kind of visited a few years ago when you first started here. We were down at Country Radio Seminar, and you were really excited about you were going to be on with Taylor Swift. Why don't we kind of go back a little bit? And now that must have been really something, a new act opening up for Taylor.
Yeah, that was insane. Like, we just had put out Wild at Heart, and we were doing a radio tour, and we were just kind of playing out, anywhere that would have us around the country in a van. So we were doing that for a while, and I guess Taylor heard one of our songs. She heard Wild at Heart, actually, and she really liked it, and so she reached out, asked if we would open up for her and Kelly Pickler, and we were like, okay, yeah, sure. So that was crazy for us. We were out with her for 2 cycles of that tour, so it took about a year and a half. We were out on the road with Taylor and Kelly, so it was amazing. It was such an awesome experience, and we got to play in front of sold out crowds in arenas basically every night. So we were pretty spoiled. It was awesome. We got to do that, and Kelly and Taylor were both amazing to us, and it was just a pretty crazy first tour to be a part of.
Now, you've also opened up for quite a few other well-known names, too, haven't you guys?
Yeah, everyone from Alan Jackson to Leanne Rimes, Zach Brown Band to Trace Atkins, you name it. We've been out with pretty much anyone that you could think of. So everyone's been so great to us, and country music is just a big family. So we definitely feel like we're part of the family, and everyone's been just amazing.
Well, Rachel, let's play another song that you guys had out called How Far Do You Want to Go? Now, why don't you talk about that song?
Yeah, How Far Do You Want to Go was our second single that we put out.
It did very well for you guys, too.
Yeah. How Far Do You Want to Go was our second single, and it's just a really high-energy song, and we all just really thought that this would be a great follow-up single to Wild at Heart, just, in terms of a high-energy song that kind of, showcases the harmony.
All right, here's Gloriana, and How Far Do You Want to Go? This morning on KLMJ, we're visiting with Rachel from Gloriana. Of course, Gloriana will be at the Butler County Fair tonight in Allison, and should be a really good show. And Rachel, I tell you what, a lot of things, like we said, happening for you guys. And let's go back to some more awards you had. In fact, 2010 Academy of Country Music Award for Top New Vocal Group, and also nominated for a Teen Choice Award for the Choice Country Group. So that's some other awards that I bet is just kind of blowing your mind, all this happening to you guys.
Yeah, the last 2009 and 2010 were incredible, and I just feel so honored and so thankful that we have just such a caring, loving, wonderful fan base. All the awards that we have won are fan-voted awards. So, our fans are the best. We love them. We have a bunch that, we know by name, that we see on a consistent basis. So we love our fans, and like I said, 2010 was a great year too. We're out on the road with Kelly and Taylor, and we actually finished up with them. I want to say that early that summer, and then we started doing a bunch of fairs and festivals on our own. So it was an awesome year as well.
And talking about fans, I'm sure you were very active with Fanfare or CMA Music Fest that was just held about a week or so ago here.
Yeah. We actually we were only able to do one day, but we made it a full day because we had shows that we had to actually leave for and go play. I think we were in Minneapolis and Iowa, actually. But we did a full day. I'm just trying to think. We did a signing for fans for about 2 hours. We signed for fans, and then after that, we did a few other things. But the highlight, I think, of our day was we held a line dancing contest, and basically 100 people got to do this line dancing contest. We narrowed it down, and they learned this dance to our latest single, "Wanna Take You Home," and we just kept narrowing it down, and got to like the top 10. And we came out and we saw the top 10 do the line dance to "Wanna Take You Home," and we picked one winner, and our one winner actually gets to be an extra in our music video, and that we're shooting for "Wanna Take You Home," and so we're really excited about that. The girl that we picked was really amazing, and she was such a cute girl. And, again, it's just, it's all about the fans at Fanfare, or CMA Fest, as I should say. And, it's just about giving them love and entertainment, and, also getting to do fun things like that where we get to, let them do something with us. So we're really excited about that.
Well, Rachel, let's do another one here. The World Is Ours Tonight. Why don't you talk about how you came to do that one?
The World Is Ours Tonight was an opportunity for us for the U.S. Winter Olympics. And it was a song that got to be part of that soundtrack. So we thought that this particular song would be very fitting, and so we went in the studio and recorded it, and actually put it onto our album, and re-released the album with this song on it. And we loved it so much, we thought that it would also be very fitting as our third single off of our record. And we got to shoot a music video for it, and it included Winter Olympic footage, and it was just it was really cool. We thought it was just a really inspirational song. All
right, The World Is Ours Tonight. Once again, Gloriana. This morning on KLMJ, we're visiting with Rachel from Gloriana, who will be at the Butler County Fair in Allison tonight. And while we talk about the show tonight, and Rachel, what can people expect when they come to see Gloriana?
I think what people can expect is, I think really just to see all of our 4 individual personalities showcased, and I think also, you'll hear all of our individual voices as well, and then a lot of 4-part harmony, and also just a high energy, band, and I'm really proud of my bandmates, and the fact that they all play their instruments really well. Actually incredibly well, and Tom plays the piano and guitar, and Michael plays the guitar, and Cheyenne plays the acoustic guitar as well as her mandolin, and I play tambourine. But we also have our fiddle player Ben, and our bass player Zach, and our drummer Trey, and we're just a live music band, and we have a lot of fun up there. I think that the crowd will definitely be able to see that. So I hope that everyone comes out to see it, because it's a really fun show.
All right, Rachel, and before we let you go, we're going to play your latest release. But first, I know you've been working on a new CD. How's that coming along?
Yeah, we actually just finished up recording our second record, I think it's about 2 weeks ago. And we're just so excited and so proud to say that we all wrote every single song on this next record. So we're really proud of that. And the hardest part right now actually is narrowing it down to, I think it's going to have to be between 10 and 12 songs. So re-recorded, I want to say 15. So that's the hardest part right now, is just kind of narrowing that down. We're just, I think that this next record, it really showcases the growth in us as a band, because we started working on that first record in year one together as a band. So it's been a good 3 years, and I think you can definitely hear how much we've just grown as a band, personally, musically, and everything. And all those songs are all true to us, and they all come from personal experiences. And, we've really been through a lot in the last 2 years. So we're just really excited for everyone to hear it. It's got a really organic feel to it, so we can't wait. And we should be expecting that to be coming out early fall, late summerish. So.
All right, sounds good. Let's play it. Want to Take You Home, and why don't you talk about how you came about this one? What a great song from you guys.
Yeah, Want to Take You Home was a song that Tom wrote with our producer, Matt, and it's just basically a fun song. Basically it's kind of one of those, fun things where, obviously the song is about, wanting to take somebody home that you see, at a bar. And it's not necessarily something that I think Tom would do. It's almost kind of like that fantasy thing. But, it's fun. And it's, it's got the harmony thing, as we always do, like I said. And, it's got a good beat to it. And, kind of high energy in the same vein as Wild at Heart.
All right, here you go. Want to Take You Home, and Gloriana.